All right, we should be live. Let me double check on Twitter. Yeah, we are.
Hell yeah,
All
man.
right. Let me I'm gonna put this in the Dow's Fun chat.
Yay. Yay.
Live we are. Four people viewing already.
Let's go.
Cordiato. That was fun. Come hang with me and Danny. All right, say what's up in the chat if you're here. Oh, it's just Daniel. Wag me. That's what's up. Cool. So if you are here, or you're watching the recording of this, me and Daniel are just at the moment kind of testing things out, seeing how this whole streaming things works for us. If you followed me for a while on my Twitter or are coming over from the S3 community, you know that I used to stream all the time. So this is a little bit newer for Daniel, I think. But Daniel's been doing quite a bit with the with going as a guest on both Dancing Eddie's stream and the Hyperstition stream, somewhat regularly. So I think you're kind of feeling the content vibes right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I think the limiting factor for a lot of things is content and attention, especially on crypto Twitter, especially. Um, yeah, it's just uh, Gleo says, I'm older than he thinks. Let's go. Yeah, grandpa, uncle. I'm older than Roy, by the way. Roy is younger than I am. And I know sometimes they say Roy is the unk and I am the cousin, but no, allow me to clarify. I am the unk. But I'm not the oldest on the Dow's Fun team. So that's what you got. Anyway, yeah,
Who is? I'm
uh,
curious. I don't know.
it's our designer is the oldest.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool.
So yeah, then yeah, things are good. I'm super excited to do more content. I think it's you know, people get home after a long day or people are working and they are ready to consume just a little bit of content. And if you can just like make a little bit of content for them to consume, it goes a long way. It's not even that difficult. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, Gliao, I've never actually tried to pronounce your name. I recognize your Twitter, of course, but and whoever else is here, retweet it wherever you're watching or whatever. See if we can get some more people in here. I mean, I'm saying that, but it's not like we have much of a plan for this. It was just kind of like, hey, let's go live and then check it out. And so we can do a couple of things that I used to do back when I would stream pretty regularly. I need to organize my tabs here. There we go. All right.
GM to Purity Glock and Oklahoma Valsili.
Yo, GM.
Let's go.
What's up, dude? You have to come on one of these times, man.
Yeah, that honestly, it is one of the great advantages of Pump Fun because you can just have someone like seamlessly. Oh, Leon's here. What's up, Leon?
Oh, what up?
GM.
Yeah, they do make it because I've hopped up on Pump Fun streams before. I've like when Trey was streaming, I hopped up and chatted with him for a little bit, and so they do make it pretty easy. The friction for us with Restream is that I have to like copy the link and send it to whoever we want. So in a way, it is kind of nice to have uh, a little bit more control over that, you know. So,
Yep.
yeah. But what we used to do back in the day was we would go through kind of these top market cap coins here, look at the main cryptos that people are looking at. Obviously, Bitcoin is, I don't know. It's like over the week it's just been trading sideways at this point. So, but earlier on in the week, I'm sure everybody's aware we did hit a new all-time high. Almost, I mean, in some places I think did say 124. I
Yep.
think it just depends. But yeah, so that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. We've been talking about kind of the overall market, like on the spaces and things, and it feels like things are heating up. I'm no macroeconomics kind of expert or anything, but I've seen some things around rate cuts and things like that, looking like it's coming in September. I heard. So yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think a real nervousness came through the market in the last 24 hours or so, just because like we almost hit all-time high on ETH. We hit all-time high on Bitcoin. We're down like 4 or 5%. We're off a good bit from the very top. Not that much, but a lot of people are now holding underwater positions. But yeah, it's, I think over the multi-month time horizon, this one actually has me slightly spooked. This slight little jump down has me slightly spooked. But I think over the multi-month time horizon, things are going to be very smooth. So on big stuff, I'm not really touching anything right now.
Yeah, I am not touching almost anything. I'm just kind of holding all my bags. ETH, yeah, up 11.5% on the week.
GM Andrew.
Uh, Solana 5.5% up. So yeah, um, damn, Hyperliquid came back quite a bit. I know a lot of people are watching Hyperliquid.
Yeah, that's been a fan favorite for the past number of weeks. I have not really been touching Hyperliquid, but
I have a bag. Yo, yeah, GM Seb, what's up, brother? I have a bag of hype, and I have played a little bit with Hyper EVM. I know some of the guys. Shisho, he came up on the space on Tuesday, I think, or last week or something. He built like a fair launch pad over there on Hyperliquid or on Hyper EVM, and so I was playing with that for a little bit, and one of my other buddies deployed an on-chain art project on Hyperliquid, and so minted that. That was pretty fun. And then back when before Hyper EVM went live, I was playing with the Hypeos quite a bit. In fact, I even had the Hypeo song in my music here. I actually just deleted it. I guess I shouldn't have. Then I could have played it because we would open the stream to the Hypeo song. So yeah, but I'm not much of a perp trader, so I've never really like I've played with the Hyperliquid app itself, but I haven't. It's not like I'm putting volume through there at all. So yeah.
yeah, I've also stayed out of perps. I've done it a handful of times, but nothing too much.
Yeah. So, um, yeah. What other kind of things are you looking at? You know, I mean, I know we just kind of went over a lot of this stuff yesterday, but I have a minute and it just went down my throat. That's crazy.
Oh
Um,
dear. Here, I just shared my screen. Can you see it? I'm looking at Deck Screener.
yeah.
Uh, Deck
Vag.
Screeners looking good. These are the ones I have on my list. Just sort them by market cap. But yeah, Pump Fun. It's been a tough token. Jailhouse is down a little bit. Yeah, a lot of the memes have been pretty red over the last 24 hours. But yeah, what are you gonna do? It's a tough environment right now.
Yeah, the swing was kind of crazy throughout this week because I looked at my meme coin portfolio on I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and it was like I was like, hell yeah, bro, we're so back. And then looked at it yesterday and today, and I'm like, ah, maybe we're not. Maybe we're right where we were. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. Um, Pretty excited for new features on DAO's Fun coming. The beta is gonna release in the next, I don't know, couple hours probably, I would say. So um, that'll be fun. And if you are, it's not gonna be available for everyone. We want to work out like a lot of the kinks and things like that. But if you are kind of tapped into the DAO's Fun eco and um, in the chats and things like that, then there's a chance you'll be able to use it. And so if you are one of those folks, which I'm sure there are a couple of you here, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm pretty excited
Yeah,
about it.
basically just join the Discord and the Telegram because it might not just be posted out on Twitter, but like I don't think it's going to be gated. I think it's going to be gated in the sense that you're going to have to find it yourself rather than um it might not be blasted on Twitter. Interesting.
Why is it? Oh, there we go. I was like, where's the other candle? That's crazy, dude. Drugs had a hell of a day.
Yep, drugs is up by a lot.
My chart looks really nice.
Yep. Yep.
What's
Yeah.
your I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I should even really ask you this question, but
Nah, it's
um
away.
as are you a investor in drugs?
At the moment, I'm not, or I hold a small amount. I hold a representational. I have 10,000 drugs, so it's not a ton, but it's enough to say it's
Okay.
a quarter of a soul.
Got you. All right, cool. Yeah, I just I'm curious, like I don't know where drugs goes. I mean, obviously AI-16Z pumped to Valhalla and went absolutely crazy. And so it'll be interesting to see like kind of how these like I don't know top DAOs kind of perform over the next couple months.
Yeah, I think drugs has a pretty good chance of catching like the index coin of the DeSci narrative. DeSci is hard to capture, I think, because it's DeSci is tough because you have to explain so much about each token and each project, and there's um all of this other stuff. So it's just I'm quite hopeful on drugs because it can operate sort of as like the meme shelling point of all of DeSci, instead of like a single individual project. So I'm pretty excited about drugs for that reason.
Yeah. Well, and I think like one of the things is like with DeSci is that there's such a knowledge gap. Like when these guys are talking about some of these molecules, like when we're on spaces or even just on calls, I'm just kind of like, this is way out of my understanding of like anything. So, yeah, and it's one of like the creator economy, you know, at a pretty fundamental level is pretty easy to understand. Um, DeSci at a you know kind of fundamental level is a little bit harder, I would say.
Yeah, it's hard, especially all you talk to a DSci guy who has a science background, and they're just coming like a million miles a minute on this science stuff. It's like, oh well, the way it works in the real science world is like this. It says, "Big dog." Like, I don't want to know any of that. Is the token gonna go up or is it gonna go down? Where are the anime boobs? Like, how put this into terms that I can understand, please. And also, what's up, Leon? What's up, Ogus? And everyone
Yeah,
there.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Um, if you guys want, you guys can join. But I don't know if we'll see you. But yeah, I don't know. That was I was going through the space yesterday and I took a clip of myself, which I normally don't really do unless I'm just like asking a question. And it was when I was saying that one of the cool things about that was fun is that, you know, kind of being involved is it gets you kind of informed on all these different little niches a little bit because we have DAOs that represent all of these different niches, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a cool position to be in, right? And so, because it's like I don't know, like if there's a new launchpad launching, like we want them to start a DAO to ape their tokens from their launchpad, and we're also a launchpad. So, uh, yeah, it's just kind of a fun kind of adjacent kind of position to be in. And if you're a DAO's fun enjoyer, then hopefully you feel the same way in the sense that you get kind of exposure to all these
All the
different.
narratives. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, I agree. And I also say you should clip yourself because no one else is going to do it. You got to be your own champion.
That's true. That's true. I guess so. Um, yeah, so I'll probably post that on like Monday or something. Um, but yeah.
Yeah. What other topics are there? Are there any? We're clearly not super rehearsed at this, and we'll get better in time.
Well, I mean, for the context of the stream as well, it's like it was like very impromptu. Me and Daniel were like, "Hey, let's go live in 30 minutes or whatever," and so we both shaved and combed our hair, uh, and um, hopped on. Typically what I would do is look at the headlines, make a list of different things, make sure I'm somewhat informed on the latest of the news. But I did not do that this morning, so I am not. We can go through it right now. One of the things that I really like to look at is Milk Road. I don't know if you've ever heard of Milk Road, Daniel. Um,
I have heard of Milk Road. It's an email newsletter, is it not?
Correct. Yeah, and so, but I like the way that they kind of put this into like little digestible. I'm gonna turn yours off for now. Digestible little pieces, right? And so let's go through it. Let's see what we got here. Um, Usually they do this, right? Like a little fear and greed index. Kind of
Proof
goes
of
like,
drink on stream. Oh my word.
dude, it's 1:30 p.m. It's 1:30, Andrew. Um, Here's my drink options that I have at my house. I have a Corona or I have what kind of Knob Creek, I think, whiskey.
Here's the crazy thing is I gotta confess, I've been doing the non-alcoholic for about a month. I'm about 1 month no drinking literally any alcohol. I've been pounding non-alcoholic beers basically anytime I'm in public or like in that scenario. Just like I truly like drank 7 non-alcoholic beers the other day. And the taste isn't bad. If you can like anyway, it's been great. I've definitely enjoyed it. So proof of drink with the zero APV.
So, okay, so I'm always kind of like, all right, so like if I've gone through periods where I'm like, all right, I'm not drinking right now. I don't want to drink right now. And I just don't drink. Like I'll drink like a Gatorade or just drink water or whatever. I've never understood the draw to non-alcoholic beers, but I guess if you like the taste of beer and it does kind of help you kind of like be a part of it without like, because like dude, if you're at like a drinking event and someone's like, oh, I don't drink, it's like, all right, buddy, like you're so special, right? Like
Exactly. There's the way I'd said it's this. There's a certain vibe that you can only have with a beer in your hand, and like you can get like 99% of the same vibe even if it's not alcoholic. Like the part of it is missing because you have to, of course, be slightly drunk in this. But like with an NA beer in your hand, you can like get to that level of vibe pretty darn close. And another thing, like if you're out in a bar scenario, you can just like pour like NA beers into a cup. Nobody has to know. It just looks like a beer. You're walking around with a glass cup or a glass that's filled with beer. It doesn't have any alcohol in it. So then you can like you literally don't even have to bring it up to anyone. You can just like walk around with a beer. It's like, yeah, like
right, you just fit in then.
yeah, so and it's like I'm not gonna drink water because that's terrible. I'm not gonna drink Diet Coke because like that's also weird. I could do a mocktail or something, but I don't even like cocktails that much. So that's where I've landed on NA beers. Just pounded them. So
Nice. That's hey, more power to you. It's always
thank
good
you.
to I mean, I drink but uh I'm not one to say like drinking is good for you. I don't think that that's really much up for debate. So, making positive change in your life is good.
Yeah, I think drinking's good for you. I think I'd be healthier if I started drinking again. This is just a joke, but
Well, okay. So I
there are
would say
strong arguments in favor of drinking.
I would argue that if Zvi from Baxis was here, he would say, "Wait a second." But and so yeah, there's definitely that effect too. But I think yeah, physically, I don't know, not really up for debate. But anyway, uh, this is something that we've been talking about on Spaces. Pump Fund reclaims the throne. Um, and so yeah, I mean, let's go look at the state of the of launch pads on Solana because that's something that we tend to look at anywhere. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, just a week or two ago, this was completely flipped.
Yep.
Um, so, and Bags wasn't even close to up at number 3.
Yeah, that Bags is actually the big story the last 24 hours. How the guy was on the Mr. Beast live stream, and I watched the clip. There was so much like hullabaloo about it, and I'm like, it took me a while to actually understood what happened. And on the one hand, I think the token was going to dump anyway, just because. Um, but on the other hand, the guy, and it's part of me doesn't like how they treat founders of like launch pads, whether it's Ben Pasternak or this Believe guy. Like people just love like sending them through the ringer on crypto Twitter. There's no sense of like humanity or like even realistic expectations. But I think he could have done a little bit better because he didn't even mention his protocol. He didn't even without mentioning like someone's like, well, it's because of the legal obligations or whatever. Like you just got on Mr. Beast's stream, like, and because you donated $100,000, you and I know it's hard. You got to make snap second decisions, but in that case, it's like say your name of your app, say who you are, speak it with your chest, and be super proud. Because like hell, if I was on that, I would have said, "Gosh, dang it! Like DAO's not fun. DAO's not fun.
Yeah.
Everyone get on." And so, um, you know, I I do think the bags mechanism is novel and has repeatedly done a really nice job at getting attention. So I think they'll be back in the. But yeah, they can be unforgiving. This group on crypto Twitter.
That is for damn sure. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy that I mean I think it's part of like just being anonymous, right? People say things that they wouldn't say if you knew what their actual name was. And so yeah, I think that's kind of a factor, and it's just like it goes to support Bowski's point yesterday that we're not in a capital market. There is no capital market on Solana or on any chain really right now. At the moment, we have a bunch of gamblers. I think that's probably makes up the majority of wallet addresses, and then we have a bunch of like whales or big institutions that just kind of like park money places. Like that's mostly what's going on there. It's not like what we're experiencing here is um comparable to like the New York Stock Exchange. But I think it'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I think just to speak in favor of government regulation for a second, which is a crazy position to take, but one of the reasons why the New York Stock Exchange is so valuable is because of the regulation and the assurances that investors have, because they're up in everyone's butt about keeping good books, about keeping good like earnings reports. You must like disclose these or you're gonna like whatever get delisted. So it's one of the reasons why is that level of rigor from the SEC, why American stocks are so much higher valued, because you're buying a premium product. You actually like know what the books are. And that's there's obviously challenges with that. You have to deal with the investment banks, you have to deal with like people taking cuts up and down. And also like the whole value prop of crypto is that it's frictionless and that anyone can just get started. But I think it's important also to understand like the pro case of regulation and like why that leads to higher valuations, and especially in the ICM side, because it's going to be tough to replicate that on chain. But I think to Mercy's point, it was like 2 weeks ago or a week ago at this point, like we are super early in the ICM meta or on the like actual like value in crypto assets at the moment. I completely agree that it is just like whatever has the most attention. I mean, even look at like Judo token or Radium token or all these other things where they like actually have revenue, they actually have users, they actually have a moat, they actually have, proprietary tech. And it's like it's the attention flows is really what matters. They maintain pretty good valuations, but it's about the attention.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um yeah, I don't know. I think looking back at this, I mean there's so many launch pads that like I haven't even heard of.
Yeah, people do like it's tough to break in. It's tough to break in.
Only 37 of the I don't know how many launch pads there are in Solana, but I think it's in the hundreds. I think it's at least 100. Only 37 of them generated any revenue. Only 30 of them generated more than $1,000 of revenue, and only 20 of them, or no,
Or
only
yeah, that's
20.
1 day volume.
Yes, yeah, in a day, in a day. That's true. That's one of the reasons that this leaderboard is uh deceptive at times, is because if there's a bags launch that just absolutely takes off, they'll rip to the top of the leaderboard because of the 24-hour volume, and it's not really indicative of like where things are at in the market. And it's just shown because everybody, I mean not everybody, but a lot of people were talking like Pump had this stranglehold on the market and that no one could take that away from them. But then for consistently for a number of days, if not a week or more, Let's Bonk was above them. And so yeah, it's we're early, you know?
Yeah, definitely immature launch pads. Honestly, Pump is the only mature one at the moment. Let's Bonk is on its way to being mature, but they still have a got him, Ogus. I'm from L Bank. There's this guy in our Discord who just keeps opening up Discord tickets. Guys, I'm from this
Yeah.
set. Would you guys like to list your tokens? It's like, no, we wouldn't.
Dude, I swear they send like an army of people because
I
I
know.
swear it's like different people. I recently, I don't even know what they were shilling me in my DMs, but I got like 5 or 6 message requests with the exact same message from different accounts, and I'm like, dude, like, and then they all followed up with the same message within like 24 hours of each other. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
sorry,
a
I'm not
shame.
gonna look at your message, bud.
It is a shame.
I guess okay. So I remembered one of the questions I wanted to ask you after you were talking about the difference between capital markets. Vegs. I'm from L Bank. Well,
What
can you
up,
help us?
Biggs?
Can you help us get listed, bro? Help us get listed. We don't even have a token. Um, my question for you was that part of the selling point for crypto, if not the most important one, is that there's this level of decentralization and you take custody of your assets yourself. There is no middleman. And part of the reason that you say that the stock exchange is so valuable and attractive to people is because there is that middleman. And so like I don't know how big of a hurdle do you think this is going to be when we're talking about mass adoption? Because so many people want to be taken care of. So many people want to be
Have a customer support number they can call and get their money back if something unfair happens.
yeah, and even more on like a deeper level, like in like a political way, like most people look at politics of like how how does this affect me, not how should this be, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. Voting based. Yeah. I expect this politician will give me this, whereas the other one will give me this. In your voting in your self interest, which is a fairly normal thing to do.
Right, but yeah, I guess my point is that if the for the system to work better, it should be people should look at like what the like how like which one is the correct answer based on like the outcomes of this legislation being passed or the outcomes of these views or these positions being made into law or whatever. And so I feel like crypto's kind of in a similar vein where it's like we all that are here, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us that are here believe that self custody and decentralization is a better way to do it, but doesn't matter if it's a better way, I guess.
Yeah, this is what I'd say. Crypto, I think, is on actually a pretty long adoption cycle, and I think people are going to come in for some products, and then they'll leave when the product stops making sense. And I think, um, like if you, and I also don't think it's going to go up sort of evenly across the board. There's going to be areas where it makes sense and it's going to pop off. Like, I mean, I've been spending a little bit of time on Twitch.tv of all places, which is owned by Amazon, by the way, which I had no idea. And
Interesting. I didn't know they did that.
yeah, kind of affects my opinion of Twitch, knowing that it's a corporate sellout. JK. Um, but, like, I think it depends. If there's you need to get people off the bench is the idea, I think, to actually like get them into crypto. What is it going to be? And I think for a lot of people, like Phantom App and meme coins, like have been it. Like, oh my gosh, like truly on when you go to Twitch, for example, some guys will be playing Call of Duty and some guys will be on Axiom. It's legitimate entertainment to be like you can live stream on Axiom, aping new pairs. You like just like on the Call of Duty, you have your little Discord call with all your guys on there, and like it's literally like you're playing Call of Duty, but you're playing like Axiom. And so I think that is something that'll be around, in my opinion, basically forever. Like they'll make it better. Like Call of Duty in its current form has largely been around forever. Um, and I think Axiom's going to be the same way. They're going to improve it. They're going to make it better. But this is a setup that not only people want to play because they enjoy it, but also then they can stream it and show other people how to play it. And so But just like Call of Duty, Axiom's not for everyone. So for some people, that'll get like Call of Duty players, Axiom players off the bench, and for other stuff, it could be Zora. I'm I kind of think it's always going to be a little bit of a niche thing. Like most, like maybe at most 1%, at most 10%. Like most people want Instagram, most people want Facebook, most people want um you know, like Reddit, most people want like normal stuff. So to like financialize everything, it does take a unique sort of individual to do it. So I don't even think that adoption has to be that big for it to be meaningful, um, especially in consumer apps. But the last thing I'll say is I do think Solana is the home for consumer apps. I think like Base is trying, and I think they have some compelling like concepts they're working with, but I don't think in any real way they can hold a candle to Solana because Solana is so smooth to use, and it just it allows you to express a more pure idea because there's not that sort of implicit censorship aspect of doing it on the corporate chain, which is Base.
Yeah, I agree. Fed chain, bad chain, boo. But yeah, I don't really ever touch base unless I like absolutely have to. I think that the other chain that I would bring into question is Abstract. That I think can go toe to toe with Solana on the consumer side.
Yeah, I'm open to the abstract vision. I think it's possible that honestly, I was playing around on Roblox the other day, which is a lot of fun. Not really, I don't actually enjoy it, but it's sort of fun to understand the concept. Um, and I can see abstract sort of like pushing up against from like they'd almost compete with Roblox because it's sort of like family friendly vibes and like um, you know pictures of penguins and things like this. Whereas like Solana, I don't see like this is my bias. I also hang out on Solana. I don't see the like family friendly vibe having as large as of a total addressable market, as large of a TAM as Solana, just because yeah, Solana, like that's adults want to gamble, adults want to look at naughty things at all. Like this is like just how
GoonFi.
yeah, I think it's a bigger market to win. But it is I suppose if you can actually get like kids across the world gambling on abstract chain or just like Club Penguin is on abstract chain, Roblox is on abstract chain, whatever. Like it could compete, but yeah, that's my current bias.
Yeah, well, I think there's like this other side of like maybe the tech of maybe blockchain technology doesn't have to be financialized, like to a certain extent, right? Like maybe just owning a skin or just owning an asset, a digital asset of some kind. Like I don't know if it's going to be hyper traded in the same way that like meme coins or like the trenches would be. Um, so I think that's the point. But I also think that Solana does address some of the family friendly, kind of kid friendly vibes, um, in the sense that, uh, like people can do it themselves, right? And so like Bodoggos, for example, we um, kind of talked about them yesterday on Spaces. Like those to me address that like cute family friendly,
Yep.
kid focused kind of vibes. Like you can see little boys having like a plushy Bo doggo and it's like, oh, this is my doggo. But then at the same time there's retardios, and at the same time there's Dow's fun, and at the same time there's pump fun. Like, and so I think the point is that Solana can check a lot of all of these boxes, whereas abstract and base have a tighter box that they're kind of operating in.
Right. I think too the like you mentioned that it's possible for like crypto onboarding to happen without speculation. And I think that's tough because the speculation is like that's the greatest marketing tool and that's been the primary onboarding tool to crypto is like, hey man, I just like turned $100 into $200. You should download this too. And but it is I suppose it is possible to get like self custody or blockchain tech in sort of from like a top down approach through like institutional adoption. Oh, Google's using their own blockchain or whatever like to post data. But yeah, super excited to see where it all goes. And DAOs.fun is the answer. Boom roasted. Whatever your
Sure.
question is, the answer is DAOs.fun.
We will find a way to make that the answer for sure. Yeah, I think let's wrap up here in a minute. I mean, I'm not mad about how this stream went. I think when we have like a written down list of like things to hit, it will go a lot better. But I think for us winging it, it's not bad. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We're going to experiment with doing streams pretty regularly at the same time as the spaces to start. So be on the lookout next week. I think we're gonna go live at noon on Monday, and hopefully, I mean, we'll be a lot more prepared. So we'll have like the list of things and all this stuff, and so hopefully it can become a resource for you and a form of entertainment. So yeah, but we will catch you next time. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys soon. Thank you for everyone who commented. Biggs, Ogus, Oklahoma Valisi, Andrew Seb, the big dog, Gliao, Leon,
King Ball,
King Ball,
Purity Glock,
Purity Glock, and
and
Danny
Danny
Dow is
Dow is
fun.
fun. Who is
Lots
that?
of good comments. Thank you, man. Big appreciation.
Yeah, especially to you, Danny. Dow's fun. Hopefully we get to meet someday.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We'll catch